What's up, guys? It's Sunday, and that means it's time for another Halo Top 10. Of course, it's kind of Sunday. It's Sunday somewhere in the world, right? So for this week's Top 10, we're going to talk about the Halo CE levels, the top 10 Halo CE levels. Now, you may be thinking, wait, isn't there only 10 levels in Halo CE? And you would be right. But of course, it's not top 10 if we don't rank them. So this is Marble Halo's top 10 CE levels. After you finish the video, head down below, let me know if you agree, if you disagree. Now that all that's out of the way, let's just get started. And of course, at number 10, we have the library. You all knew it was coming. You know that the library is the worst level. But of course, I don't think it's the worst level in gaming as so many people make it out to be. But I'd be lying if I told you it's better than any other level in this game. The Flood aren't as good to fight as the Covenant. Not that they're bad, but they're not nearly as good as the Covenant. And of course, that's all you fight in this level. It's a dark level, it's repetitive, it's annoying, it's all copy and paste rooms. The hallways are copy and pasted. I mean, if you know Halo, you know this level. There's a reason this level is infamous in all the Halo games. At number 9, I'm going to put the Keys level. Some of you guys probably really like this level, and I can't fault you for that. That being said, I don't like this level. It's better than the library, of course, but it's not saying much. The new areas are cool, but they're also kind of annoying. The water mechanics aren't really ironed out, or the whatever that jet fuel is. The ship is the same as earlier, but now you're fighting Flood and the Covenant. But the Flood again aren't as fun to fight. I don't know. It's just not that great of a level in my opinion. Especially when it's stacked up to the rest of the campaign. Keys isn't that great, but of course nothing is worse than the library. So, of course we can't put that at number 10. At number 8, I'm going to put 2 Betrayals. Now, this level, as you know, is a repeat of Mission 5 in the campaign. Except it's just backwards. Besides a couple of bonus rooms, there's nothing different about this level except that you're fighting the Flood and you're flying Banshees. Don't get me wrong, the Banshee sections are awesome, especially when you engage in the aerial combat. I think it's cool that they incorporated it in some way, shape, or form. But it doesn't make up for repeating the longest level so far, doing it all again just with 3 new rooms and the use of Banshees, and just now fighting Flood instead of just the Covenant. I don't think it's that great of a level, but, the Banshees kind of make up for it, I guess. At number 7, I'm going to put 343 Guilty Spark. Now, this level has one of the best atmospheres in the entire Halo series. It's beautiful, it's creepy, it's good looking all at the same time, especially in the old graphics, but you enter the structure and it's getting creepy, and we get the reveal of the Flood, which is, extremely memorable, but that being said, the level is just really repetitive, and in so many ways it can be annoying, and the Flood, of course, are weaker enemies than the Covenant, as we've mentioned so many times already. I like it, it's not as good as the rest of the levels on this list. Now keep in mind, this is where I start to consider the levels to be really good, and, 343 is a really good level, and it's all the way at number 7, so going forward, we're just going up. Now, for number 6, of course, we're going to have Assault on the Control Room. Now, you may be wondering why I rank this, 2 levels higher than 2 Betrayals. Yes, it's the same area. I love the way this level plays out. This is the first time going through the level, and exploring it the first time is, kind of neat, kind of cool. It's big, expansive, and it's better than the other level because, well, it's your first time. You're not just redoing the same thing you did a couple missions before. I love fighting the Covenant vehicles. I love the opportunity to use the Scorpion, the rocket launcher, the Warthog, the Ghost, and all that stuff. And of course, you can do most of those things in 2 Betrayals, but we already did it. 2 Betrayals is just a copy of this level, but this level is the OG. It's pretty good. At number 5, we're going to put Pillar of Autumn. Do not scold me. Let me explain. Yes, Pillar of Autumn is at number 5. If you look at the game as a whole, it's pretty much the tutorial level. It's a fantastic level, mind you. One of my favorites, and it's small, it's condensed, there's no vehicles, basic enemies, and weapons, and it's just meant to introduce the gameplay and the plot. It's great, and it's obviously a classic, but I don't think this compares to the other levels. I mean, there's a reason that the game expands after this level. This is just the tutorial. You gotta get to the meat of the game, and that's why Pillar of Autumn is only at number 5. At number 4, I'm gonna put the Maw, and yes, I just put the Maw above Pillar of Autumn. It's the same level, except for a major difference, of course, and you kind of all know what that is. First of all, the Flood and Covenant are here, and the Covenant have, Spec Ops troops, which I think is one of the only times you ever get to see them, and that's really cool. a special unit of Covenant is pretty interesting to see, honestly. Not to mention, Invisible Flood and the armory and blowing up the generator or whatever it is, the engines or whatever you're doing, right? But the biggest thing that the Maw has over the Pillar of Autumn is simply the Warthog run. I mean, that cannot be ignored. It's a great classic sequence with awesome music, awesome set piece. You see Foehammer fall. I mean, the Maw just takes the number 4 spot, honestly, because of the Warthog run. It's so good. Not as good as Halo 3's, but it's really good. At number 3, we have Truth and Reconciliation. Now, this level doesn't have vehicles, but it's a nice change of pace. Now, I've never cared whatsoever for stealth mechanics in Halo, but a nighttime sniper recon mission is kind of cool. It's amazing, and I really appreciate the 64 rounds in the sniper rifle. Later, you're fighting the enemies below the gravity lift, and then you storm the ship and you save the captain, and it's an interesting dynamic at least, and it's got some changing objectives. And I think above all else, I just really like the sniper section and that intro. And also, you fight hunters for the first time, so that's another reason that this mission is kind of memorable. At number 2, I'm gonna put Halo. No, this is not my number 1. I love this mission. It's absolutely amazing. Yes, the opening is amazing. Yes, the expansive level, the huge world, it's amazing to explore. Yes, I love that you can save the Marines in any order, and it's dynamic. I love this mission. I really don't have any negatives to say about it. It's just amazing. And the atmosphere, the level design, the way you can just tackle the mission in whatever order once you get to the later half. But it's just not as good as my number 1, and that's really the only reason that's at number 2. There's no faults to this level. It's just not my number 1. And that means if you've been keeping track, the Silent Cartographer is my number 1. I love this level. I love the beginning. I love the beginning so much where you just storm that beach of Covenant. You have a squad of Marines and you're charging up and you're taking down the Covenant and they have fortifications, and it's not super dynamic because, it's an old game, but it felt so awesome to do that. And I kind of want to see something like that again in a future Halo game. Of course, then the level opens up, and it's kind of like a mini open world. You can tackle it any way you want, right? And I have my route that I go, every single time by heart because I've played this mission so many times. But of course, the level is great because you can do whatever order you want. You want to charge the room, only for it to get locked up, and then go back and find the other stuff, and find the hunters, and all this cool stuff, right? You can find a downed Pelican, and it's gonna get you some rockets and some ammo. The level's beautiful, not to mention the island is just really, really cool. I love this level more than any level in the game, and I'm not sure anything's ever gonna change my mind. Again, I love Halo, I love Pillar of Autumn, I love all these levels, but Silent Cartographer is just so good. And guys, that's it. Let me know what you thought down below, and what's your list? I'm really curious, do you have a level you love more than other people do? Or maybe you hate a certain level that everybody else loves? I want to know. Thanks for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot to me. And as always, I hope to see you all in the game.